Hello there. Well, it's Friday the 29th, and it's I don't know what time it is. 8 o'clock, roughly 8 p.m. No, 8:30. So we're out here. I'm just out here kind of show you what's going on. Santa Claus showed up early this year. Showed up last night in June, and this is what he brought. Got rid of the old sleigh and the reindeer. I came here with a big brown truck and an industrial motor engine. Anyway, this is my kit. Well, it's part of my kit's half of it from ECI. I've already got part of it on the car, and I'm kind of feeling my way through since it appears as though they forgot to send me directions. I have no paperwork with this. And I've got it assembled, but I put it together with the caliper on the back. And I'm pretty sure that's wrong, because if you look here, the where the bottom bolt has to go into the caliper, it runs right into the steering arm. And these are drop spindles, which kind of changes those relationships. So I believe what has to happen is the bracket that mounts the caliper, this bracket that mounts the caliper, probably this bracket needs to go on the other side of the car, and that one needs to come over here so the brackets can mount on the front. You see, these spindles are made so the bracket can go front or back. And with it on the front, there wouldn't be anything here to interfere with that caliper bolt. So I'm pretty sure the answer I'm going to get when I talk to the guy, which isn't going to happen until Monday at this point, is going to be, yeah, they belong on the front. As I recall, I used to have a 74 Chevy pickup that had essentially these disc brakes on it, and the caliper was on the back, so that's kind of where I headed with putting this together. I really like the part, the hardware. They make their own hub, and they send you the bearings and everything. The races are already in the hub. The rotors in this case do not include the hub. They're not one piece like a lot of them. The front rotor. These are actually our rear rotors off of a Firebird, the guy told me. So they make the hub to fit these spindles. They supply you with the bearings. They did not supply the spindle nut and the keyed washer. I took that off of the old ones, and I will get new ones. I'm just using that temporarily so I can put this on. I want to see how the wheel fits on this. So like I said, I started playing with this late this afternoon, and by the time I found I had a problem, it was way too late to call for an answer. Since I'm on the West Coast and they're on the East Coast, that doesn't work. So you can see this one here. I just started putting the brackets. I put both brackets on, and then I went to work on the other side and kind of finished from there. You can see here where the bolt, I'm sorry, I'm looking and not focused on the camera. The bolt that's going to go in here for the caliper is going to run right into that steering arm. So like I said, I think the answer for that is to take the bracket from the driver's side, passenger side, and put it here and put the caliper. We're going to try that right now. All right, let's see how that works. Well, like I said, I'm very happy with all of this. I like the way it looks. Good stuff. Here's the proportioning valve. They give you this, and they give you a drawing. They did send that, a drawing that calls out all of the thread sizes for these fittings. And I've already been to the auto parts store, and they do have these. So these are lines that they sell that include one fitting that will go right into, this will go, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time with this, holding everything and looking at the camera. This will go into one of these, I think it goes into this one directly without having an adapter. So it goes into the bigger thread and fastens the 3/16 line. This isn't happening with one hand. I forgot where that came from. There it goes. It works there in that thread. So they sell you the fitting with this little 1 foot of line and the line's like $2. I don't remember what the fitting cost. So there's like that's 3/16 tube nut right there. That's the actual line size. This is I think it was 1/2 inch 20 or something like that. And then there's a 9/16 20 and a 7/16 18 or something over here. There's like 3 or 4 different sizes. And on the master cylinder, there's 2 additional. Well, they're not additional, but they're not alike. One of these is 1/2 and one's 9/16 also, I believe. So I got the ones they had in stock. The other ones they're gonna have for me tomorrow. I also got some brake line there. And the rest of that they're going to have for me tomorrow. But in the meantime, I have to get the discs assembled so they work. Anyway, I also have to get a push rod for this master cylinder because the one that was on the car is funky and it isn't going to work there. But anyway, it'll all happen later. Well, now that's better. And look at that, the wheel even clears, which we weren't sure was going to happen. Pretty fancy. Those hubs are some kind of billet. Caps, I mean, not hubs. So anyway, that's what it looks like mounted on the front. And so now the hose will come up here. I'll have to take the tab from here and put it on this side. And you'll probably kind of put it in the same place over here on this side. So the hose will come out and it'll go down. You notice that thing kind of leans out this way a little bit. So I guess it gets away from here. And I notice on the hose they got like a protective piece over that section of the hose. But anyway, that ought to work. That ought to work fine. All right, anyway, like I said, that looks like it'll work. That's better. See ya. Well, hello there, everyone. Happy July 1st. You can see here we've been busy. Got some more of these little things with the special fittings. So we're started on running our brake lines. You see, yesterday we made this little bracket to mount the proportioning valve, and we got like I say, we got other fittings to go in the master cylinder and the proportioning valve, and out the back side, you can't see that one from here. You see, we started out the back side for the rear brakes. We're on our way down and onto the frame. We're not done with that line yet, but it's in process. So I've got a strap up here and a strap on the frame, and we're going from there. We haven't started the front ones yet. Like I say, pending an answer on the rotors, whether they're front mount, whether I guessed that right or not. I think they're front mount, which means this tab for the hose has to move over to this side. So the hose can come up out of here and go into the tab. But like I said, I'm not going to remove that tab until I get confirmation of that idea. So for today's Sunday. Today what I'm doing is I'm going to lift this up and going down that frame. See, when the factory built this car, there was a single master cylinder. So they came out of the master cylinder and they went down and they started around the front. They hit this wheel, and then they went around the cross member to the wheel on the passenger side in the front, and then continued down that frame rail, the passenger side frame rail, to the back wheels. We're not going to do that with two systems. We're doing the back system out of the back of it comes out of the back of the master cylinder to the back of the proportioning valve, and out of the back of the proportioning valve it goes down and feeds the rear wheels. So we're going down the driver's side this time with the rear brakes. And then we'll take the way this proportioning valve works is there's 2 lines for the fronts, 1 for each wheel. So we're going to route those, obviously, but like I said, I have to find out about the calipers first. So what I'm doing today, my son's coming back. He's a plumber, and he likes running the tubing. So he's been doing this, the lines you see bent, and most of what's going to happen after this, unless he's not around, he'll be doing. I'm an electrician, so I bend tubing too, but like I said, since he enjoys doing it and came over here yesterday and started, he's doing it so far. So, as I say, what I'm going to do today is try and stay ahead of him. He has quite a bit of experience, by the way. When he was in high school and for probably 4 years after that, he worked for Brezio Street Rods, Roy Brezio Street Rods, up in South San Francisco. So he's got quite a bit of good training. He learned how to weld, took a welding course up here at the local community college, whatever you want. What's the proper terminology for that? That was a well-renowned course. So he took that welding class, and that's where he learned how to do the TIG welding. And so he's a good resource here, obviously. So anyway, today what I'm doing to stay ahead of him is, since we're going down the opposite side of the frame from the original, there's a little tab where the rear brake line goes, where it converts to a hose so that it can have the flexibility for the rear end to go up and down. And I got to remove that tab so he can relocate it to the opposite side. And there's a corresponding tab on the differential that has to get removed and moved to the opposite side. And there's also some existing exhaust hangers that are not going to be used, and they're in the way. So all that stuff, I'm trying to get into the preliminaries before he gets here and get rid of all that stuff, or work on it anyway. So that's it for today. Right now, there's your update for Sunday, July 1. Talk to you later, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye. Okay. Well, we made a little progress today. Nothing earth-shattering, but definitely made some progress. So, first of all, I got all those tabs. Remember, there was tabs up here for the brake hose going to the differential, where the hard line stops and the hose goes to the differential. There was a tab up here, and there was an exhaust hanger up here too, and there was 3 holes right here that got filled. So that got taken care of. Messing that up. And this side had another exhaust hanger right up here. So you can see and the rear end had a tab back here where the other end of the hose landed. So that tab got removed, this tab got removed and moved over to here. So you see that's attached right there. And the hose is on there temporarily, so we can work to that. And the other end of the other tab that mounts the end of the hard line where the hose starts got moved over to this frame rail. Sorry, I'm in the light. Okay, and the brake line got made. Remember, this was hanging. This piece here was just hanging. It was strapped up here, and it was hanging from there. So made the bottom part of it here, all along the frame, put a coupling in it here, went up over the top of this body mount, and into the tab where the hose attaches. You see the hose there going to the differential. So we got that much of it done today. So I'm kind of happy with that. Obviously, where we cut the piece off of the rear end had to get patched because I had to drill out some spot wells. So that got patched and ground and all of that. Like I said, we doctored this, patched it, filled the holes. There was 3 holes there. I had hit with the disc. I hit the frame a couple of times while I was cutting the stuff off, so that got patched and ground, ground smooth. So again, nothing earth-shattering, but definitely progress. All got to happen. So now I'm starting. We're going to have to do the brake lines that attach from the wheel cylinders now over and around the differential here to this brass T. So now they're on the opposite side. So I think what I'm going to do, you see I started a piece here just as a sample. It's a leftover piece. So I could get a, find out, how many degrees and where I need to place that little bend for when I make the permanent piece. So I think what I'm going to do is probably make a little bracket that stands up right on top of this weld seam, right above that weld seam. Maybe make 2 brackets. So I think what I'm going to do with this is offset it down, run along here, and then offset back up, go through this clip probably, unless I may remove that clip altogether. And maybe hit another bracket that we make right here before it goes into the T. And then something similar on this side, probably offset back down, to maybe, we'll make 3 or 4 of those little brackets, probably just a vertical that we could put a strap, the line strap on. Run along here and then offset up in like the other side into the back of the wheel cylinder, something like that. And then the fronts. So the back, I don't want to jinx anything, but the back so far is going pretty good. The rear end of it, rear part of the system is going pretty good. Once I find out about these calipers, we can start running the front part. Okay? Till later. Thanks for watching. Bye.